the rider on the white horse, and God's throne in Elam. Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Ann, and today is October 16th, 2024. I know that everyone knows that we are on the cusp of the Third World War. You know, it could happen at any minute now. We have Russia and Ukraine. Their war is at boiling point. And we have Israel and this country of Iran. That war could explode and have them going against each other and bringing everybody else in. That could happen at any second. Now, I believe that the seal of Revelation, the first seal of Revelation, is about to be opened. And when that happens, all hell will break loose. Now remember, the rider on the white horse begins the tribulation. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the Great Tribulation, but it does begin the process of wars. You see, the rider on the white horse, he has a bow, and that bow symbolizes war. And he's given a crown, which symbolizes that this rider is a king, and he is someone who has authority. Now, in the Bible, it says that he is a conqueror and he goes forth to conquer. Now, this means that he is going out and he's going to put everything in order. And those things that are not in order, he's going to remove them. Now, he is a leader and he has an army because he is riding on a white horse. Brothers and sisters, now in the past, I was taught that this rider on the white horse was the Antichrist. However, I no longer believe that because I believe that this rider on the white horse is Jesus Christ himself. So let me just read this verse. Revelation chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened the seal, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, Come and see. Verse 2. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on it had a bow and a crown, and it was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Now, as I said before, brothers and sisters, I believe that this rider on the white horse is Jesus. Now, that is the main point that I wanted to get across in this first section, but I'm going to move forward and try to make a connection to something else. So keep this in mind because we will be coming back to this. So what am I saying? I'm saying that Jesus is the rider on the white horse in Revelation chapter 6. And I believe this is true because I have studied it out, and I believe that I have been given several visions which confirms this. So that's the point that I want you to remember right now, and we'll come back to that. Now, next, I want us to go to Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49. And we will be looking in particular to verse 38. And so let's read that. Now, this, as I said, Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 38. And it says, And I will set up my throne in Elam, and will destroy from thence the king and the princes, says the Lord. You hear what God is saying? He's saying that he is going to set up his throne in Elam. Now, Elam is another name for Iran. So Jesus is saying, I'm going to set up my throne in Iran. Again, Elam is another name for Iran. So let's look at this verse. It says that in the last days, God said that he would put his throne in Iran. I mean, when I read that, I said, wow, what does that mean? So, but I do know for a fact, God is not going to put his throne in any place that he considers unworthy of it. And we know for a fact, because we've heard on the news, that there are thousands of Iranian people who are converting to Christianity, and they are becoming Christians. These believers are willing to die for Christ, just like us. So I believe that even based on this, that I can see why God would put his throne in Iran, because all of his new believers. Brothers and sisters, we're in the last days, and I can say for sure that Jesus' throne right now is not in Jerusalem. Now, it will be later on, because it says it will be in Jerusalem. But right now, it is not in Jerusalem, because so many horrible things are going on. But I can see that it could be in Elam, because of all the people who are converting and becoming Christians. So I can see why he would put his throne there. And he said in his word that in the last days that he was going to put his throne in Elam, in Iran. Now, brothers and sisters, know for sure that if his throne is in Elam or Iran, God's power is there too. Because wherever his throne is, his power is. He's saying that he's there. So any nation that chooses to go against God's throne will be destroyed. And so I want to say this very clearly. If the United States and Israel go against Iran, and God's throne is in Elam, Iran, they will be destroyed. You are deciding to destroy yourself. Now read Jeremiah for yourself. You can start at Jeremiah 49, and I think it starts at verse 34, that talks about that, the fact that he's going to put his throne in Elam in the last days. And we definitely know that we're in the last days. Okay? And that's, so let me just kind of read that. Let me read Jeremiah 49. Let me start with verse 38. But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, said the Lord, and I will set my throne in Elam, and will destroy from thence the king and the princes, says the Lord. Now I want to make, okay, so now that I've said that, now remember I told you, remember Revelation chapter 6. Remember that, because I said I believe that that person on the white horse is Jesus. So I want to make that connection here. Now I want to connect um, the first part of my post, Revelation 6, and the rider on the white horse, who I believe is Jesus. That I believe that Revelation 6:1, that connection is actually a connection made to Jeremiah chapter 49, verses 38. 38, 39, and also verse 35, because Jesus is a king. If we look at Revelation chapter 6, we see that Jesus is a king because he has a crown. He has a throne. We know that he has a throne. So in the last days, he can put his throne anywhere. And if you go back to 35, it says that not Revelation, but Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 35, Jesus told Elam that he was going to break their bow. Okay, now if you go back to Revelation 6, Jesus has a bow. So he is restoring the bow back to Elam, which means that he's restoring back to them their military power. He is giving them, because of the fact that he's going to set up their throne, he's giving them their bow back, their military, and so military power. So that's why I'm saying any nation that chooses to go against Elam in these last days, if God has set his throne there, you will be defeated because you're going against the power of God. Because wherever his throne is, his power is there. Brothers and sisters, we are living in the last days, and I believe that the power of Iran or Elam is being restored to the people. And again, if he has put his throne there, that means his power there. That means that any nation that chooses to go against them, United States, Israel, will be destroyed. Now, I want to say this again, and I've said this over and over again. God knows who his people are, and those people in the land of Israel are the synagogue of Satan. These are not the ancient Israelites. And if they think that they can go against God, including the United States, they will be destroyed. And so that is all that I have today. And I will say shalom until the next time. But the synagogue of Satan is not the ancient Israelites.